Kuma is flying with the speed of light to a destination unknown to others. After some moments, Kuma reaches near the red port, but continues moving forward. At the next moment, Kuma crashes into the red line and falls to the red port, which is the base of Red Line. He has crashed directly into the area of world government, which causes chaos among people. The return of Kuma to Marie-Joise puts the citizens in a state of terror and confusion. The citizens recognize him, but are unable to understand that where did he come from. One of the citizens exclaimed that she heard Kuma fled the Holy Island. Seeing Kuma lying on the floor and all the destruction caused by the crash, a citizen says that what is he doing here? He was meant to be the celestial dragon's invincible slave. At that moment, an announcement is made addressing the section of the Northeast District. Meanwhile, seeing Kuma move, everyone starts running in terror, adding in more chaos. The announcement says that it is a former warlord of the sea called as Kuma and has just appeared by the Bandola Gate. Kuma gets up, and though he is in a bad condition but still is powerful. The announcement orders to deploy all available Marines to Kuma's location. Civilians are also advised to stay away from Kuma as he is extremely dangerous and ordered to evacuate the place immediately. Kuma is a man with no shred of humanity. Kuma may serve the celestial dragons, but his current purpose and programming are unknown. Therefore, the civilians must not approach him and evacuate immediately. The scene shifts to Egghead Island, where Lucci commands CP0 agents to lock down any and all escape routes for Vegapunk. He also orders them to destroy the ships if they need to. All the CP0 agents acknowledge him. Lucci exclaims that though they have controlled the Seraphims, but they cannot flush them out because of the frontier dome that is a real nuisance. Kaku calls it a marvel. Stussy asks Lucci that is he determined to ignore the Marines, to which Lucci replies that he doesn't consider Luffy as an emperor. Stussy calls him hopeless. Shaka observes the situation and exclaims that the agents are attempting to block off all exits and may have taken care of the ships too. Moreover, Vega Force 1 can only fly on the island, but now they seem captivated from all sides. All the 6 clones along with the original Vegapunk are discussing about the situation. Lilith exclaims that by defeating the agents, they can avenge Atlas, and expresses that she is raring to go. Shaka tells Lilith to knock off the throw of a brainless attack that she has in mind. Shaka further tells them that he and Eureka have just thought up a new invention, and it is going to be a real cutting-edge piece of tech. Lilith asks at the top of her voice that why cannot they retaliate against the fool agents who are after their necks. Shaka tells her that their main objective is not fighting back, but to let the main body escape the punk records. As satellites, it is their duty to prioritize the real Vegapunk's safety above all else, and for that, they may be expendable. Shaka tells her that her fighting attitude will only cause more trouble. Lilith tries to calm down and tells Shaka that his good attitude often gets on her nerves. Vegapunk says sorry to Sentomaru for what happened to him, accepting that it happened because he was so loyal. After that, Pythagoras exclaims that they still have another ally on the island, and should they call him? Chopper tells him to stop thinking nonsense, as doing this only means risking their lives too, especially in a condition where they won't even have any place to hide, in case they get in government's sight. Vegapunk doesn't wait for a split second and calls them asking for help, as they are in a big problem. The ally responds that he has been always prepared for the order. Vegapunk cuts the call and exclaims that it seems they are going to help them. Chopper says that it would be easy to escape now if they focus on make sure that CP0 is kept busy, especially since the original Vegapunk has secured passage in the Straw Hat ship. Lilith exclaims that she will take them to the port along with Vega Force 1. Shaka approves this and tells them to hurry. At that moment, Vegapunk asks Shaka who made him the in-charge. Vegapunk then tells them to take all 7 of them to their ship. Usopp and Nami are surprised to hear that all of them are coming, while Sanji is happy that Lilith is coming with them at least. Frankie is excited to be in a voyage with the 7 faces of the world's best scientist. The scene shifts to lab interior, where Bonnie is running to chase Vegapunk, while Luffy trying to stop her. Bonnie exclaims that she will not leave Vegapunk, for stooping bugs on her, while Luffy tells her that he promised to get him out of this place in one piece and requests her to not beat him. As Bonnie keeps on running chasing Vegapunk and Luffy keeps on running to stop Bonnie, they suddenly hear a bleep sound. An announcement says that Lab Stratum Frontier dome defenses are now offline. It happened because Bonnie and Luffy did some disaster inside the lab. Everybody is surprised to know that the Frontier Dome is offline. All of the Vegapunk clones are tensed that what happened, who disabled it, and for what purpose. Lilith asks Pythagoras that if someone is in the control room, but Pythagoras replies that their detectors are not picking up anyone. The CP0 agents find it a golden chance to invade Punk Records. Shaka, however, exclaims that it might be a trap, as how malfunction can happen so sudden. After that, Kaku, Lucci, and Stussy fly at the top to check if the defenses are really offline, and what they find is that the news is true. Lucci exclaims that something like this to happen while his life at stake, it seems like even fate has abandoned Vegapunk. Their eyes catch a sight of the Straw Hat ship and the robot. Lucci exclaims that they have already taken care of all the ships down below and just have to destroy this one. The ship they are talking about is Thousand Sunny. Kaku then exclaims that he will alone deal with it. Kaku combines the Tempest Kick with Sky Slicer attack and launches a compressed air slash that approaches Thousand Sunny. Before it could destroy the ship, Zoro, who is asleep, wakes up from his nap, unsheathes his sword, and deflects the attack. Seeing this, Kaku is left surprised that how this happened. Zoro then exclaims that who interrupted his nap. Kaku is frightened seeing Zoro there. Meanwhile, Pythagoras tells Shaka that he has got the Frontier Dome back online, but the CP0 agents have already infiltrated. Shaka exclaims that they have been too late and the agents will target the Straw Hat's ship. Shaka exclaims that the agents are already fighting a crew member that was guarding the ship, and if they don't hurry and back him up, they will lose their ride out of here. Lilith tells Shaka that eventually they are heading for war. Nami gathers everyone at one place as they are about to leave the Punk Records. Luffy, Chopper, and Jinbei eventually reunite with the rest of the crew. Luffy cries out that why are they rushing as they just got there. Usopp replies that he too wants to stay, but this is a government island. Nami exclaims that Luffy has already bumped into Lucci. At that moment, Sanji asks them that if they have seen Bonnie. Robin too questions that where is Vegapunk? In the next scene, Bonnie is chasing Vegapunk, who is asking her to give him a chance to explain. Bonnie, however, is adamant on one question that can he turn his dad back to normal? Vegapunk replies to her that he can't, but there is a reason behind it. Meanwhile, somewhere in the waters of the New World, the Kid Pirate's ship is approaching an island. The pirates see a fish in the water that seem bigger than normal. Killer tells Kid to wake up as they are near the island, and asks him that should they go and look around. Kid wakes up and exclaims, that isn't even a thing to ask for, as he has never said no to exploring an island. Killer exclaims that he knows that, but probably this island is the home of the giants called as Elbaf. Meanwhile, in G-14 Naval Base, Doll calls Garp a troublemaker and tells him that they are about to head over Go Egghead, and they can't spare any of their men. Garp tells her to not be so adamant. Doll tells him that it is not a joke. He wants to launch an offensive attack against the Emperor. But has he cleared this with the top brass? Garp replies that he doesn't need to take permissions. To which, Doll asks him that for how many decades he is in the Navy with this attitude. Garp tells him to not worry about it as he has already reached here. Garp tells Helmeppo to get out of the ship. Garp is confused that whether it was a pirate attack, and if so, what do they want from Helmeppo? Helmeppo realizes that it is Garp's ship. Helmeppo gets out of the ship and exclaims that he really wanted to see him. Helmeppo starts crying and tells him that Kobe got captured by Blackbeard. Garp tells him to stop crying and just quickly get on board. He announces that they are heading to Hachinosu. Let's beat those pirates and save Captain Kobe. Helmeppo and Nami are crying for Kobe, but Garp is confident that he will save Kobe. After all, he is the hero of Marines. I've noticed that many of you are simply watching my videos without subscribing. I kindly request you to consider subscribing to my channel, as your support motivates me to keep creating more content.